In this video, I'd like to do a little bit of a poll. So what I'd like you to do when you hear what I'm talking about is to go into the comments and put your reaction. Okay, so this is a hypothetical idea that I'm talking about. It's not something I definitely think should happen. It's not something that I'm totally against. But what I'm interested in is when I ask people about this or tell them about the idea, I get very varying ideas about it. And the concept is this. This is the context of this whole thing. So I was watching My £600 Life, or clips from a show called £600 Life or something like that. It's about people that are over £600 in weight. So they're not just obese. They're not just grossly obese or morbidly obese. They are like super obese. They are the 1% of 1% of obese people. This is a very small part of the population. You're not in this group most likely, unless unless you are in that weight range. But uh, most people, it's not about overweight people. It's not about people that have some pounds to lose. It's not about fat people. It's not about people that are obese. It's about like the very extreme end, when in order to get to that size and stay at that size, there has to be like a crazy effort going on. Um, and potentially you're being abused by a partner, a parent, a wife or boyfriend, or husband or girlfriend. Like there's someone else involved, because it's kind of hard to keep up with that weight. And a lot of these people are so overweight, they are disabled basically. They can't work, they can't move, they're on a bed all day. God knows how they go to the toilet. I mean, we're talking that level, right? My question is, should there be either two things? Well, no, I'll go with this one. Should we as a society, if a doctor comes across that, or a healthcare worker or a nurse or someone, if they come across that situation with someone at that point, should we at some point intervene and say, right, this person now has to be taken away somewhere? They have to be removed from their life. They have to be locked up, and I mean locked up, and their eating has to be controlled for them, because they've not been able to do that, right? In effect, it's like a prison, but it's a nice environment. It's nothing bad. They'll get psychological help. A lot of people have said to me, "Well, it's not really about the food. It was a mental disorder. It's an eating disorder." Like, okay, you can make that argument, but if they didn't have the food, they wouldn't have got to that size. So the food is really the problem here. I understand that there's a mental health aspect to it, but we're trying to get away from that scenario. Trying to get them away from the problem, and the food is part of that problem. So, is that right? Is that wrong? To do that, for us to have the same way that we have rules in place, if someone is mentally unwell and they're in harm to themselves or people around them, there are laws in place that they can, I believe, that we can basically send people in, take that person away, lock them up. Obviously, with criminals, we can do that, but for situations of mental health, I think, I might be wrong about this, but eating disorders on the other side, anorexia, bulimia, I think in extreme cases, those people can be taken away as well. Fill me in if I'm wrong about that. But it seems that we've got nothing in place for the people at that end that are getting so overweight. So that's the first thing I'd like to comment on. Should we have a law where it says, like, if the doctor says this is an extreme case, this is someone's way, 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 way too far overweight, like they're becoming disabled, they're killing themselves, they need to be removed from that situation, locked in a room for 2 years. I know this all sounds extreme, but their life is not that much going to be that much different. People can still come in and see them. We'd have to keep these horrendous people away that would try and sneak food into them. I mean, this would definitely happen. They'd have to be searched and everything. before they went in. It's literally a story I heard not that long ago about a person that, I'm trying to remember who told me this. Someone went into hospital and he was really puffy, I think because of salt. The amount, this is an overweight person, but they had so much salt in their diet that they were like really puffed up. So they'd put them on a salt-free diet or a very low salt diet, and the body would start to kind of normalize a little bit. Their weight had come down, the fluids were draining out, and then their parents came in, or their wife came in or something. I think it was a mother came in and snuck in like a big bag of chips, Doritos, like American chips, something like that. And the doctor was saying that he went back and the guy had a heart attack, and he just had the chips all over him. So well done, caring parents. That's people who think they're caring for people when they give them junk food. Oh, it's really nice. We just give them what they like because that's a good thing, isn't it? It's not a good thing. It's a horrible thing. So, health prison. This is not something I'm going to do. It's not something I'm trying to campaign about. Maybe one day. I think it's a needed idea. The second thing is this. From a legal point of view, now people can go to retreat centres, they can come to UK Fruit Fest, they can go to different places. To go to a place different, to eat differently, health centres, there's different places. There's not that many places like that, but there will be some. And people can go to these places, and if you've got enough money, you can probably stay there for a long time if you like, and you've got the time. But what they can't do is force you, is stop you from doing your own thing. So you can leave, you can go and eat what you want. They can't stop you legally, you know. And I believe, being an ex-law student, a bad law student, I believe that it would be illegal right now, human rights and everything, for like I couldn't create a contract that I gave to someone and say, sign that, and we'll lock you in a room for 6 months and we'll control your food for you, you know. I'm pretty sure you couldn't do that. that contract would not be legal. Someone can comment on that. I don't think it would be in the UK, at least. So if you did create a health prison and people could come and sign up to be in the health prison, they literally got locked. They literally were a person who got to a point where they said, I cannot control myself. I need to make a change. Lock me away, right? I don't think it's legal, but could we create it so that that could be a special case where you could have centres like that, where the NHS or something could have places like that? I'm talking about maybe for the future, how healthcare needs to change, in which we have places that people can volunteer to go and be locked in, and therefore they don't have access to eating anything they like. Their food is once again controlled. I think for many, many people, that's the only thing that would ever work for them to regain their health and have a good life. I think the process of changing your diet is so difficult for so many people. I've seen amazing, high performance, incredibly fit, incredibly successful in business and whatever, good relationships, good family, people, stable people, cannot change their diet. Cannot stick, cannot solve that problem. So if someone was a real binge eater, really out of control, really struggling with it, could they go to a place where they literally got locked up, like freedom taken away by choice, for a period of time, and be fed something else, and get all the cuddly emotional support? Because I know people go, oh, it's not about food, it's about emotions, and they should deal with their emotions, and if we could just all love ourselves, then everything would be good. I've seen people do all the self-love stuff. They're not eating any better than anyone else. Like, to be self-love, if you're not eating well, how are you practicing self-love? You know, You don't have to eat the absolute best, but if you're not making some good choices, so that's my question for the day. That's my poll for you. Feel free to give me your thoughts below. I have my predictions about what I'm going to hear in the comments from what I've asked other people about, but I'll make a follow-up video and we'll see how it goes. Just to let you all know, I'm doing a weekly live Zoom call, Fruity Fridays, 7 p.m. UK time. Maybe we'll add on another one. I've got lots of free time. I might as well. But if there's a demand for one, I'm aware there's people at the other side of the world that it's not a good time for. There's maybe people in the US it's not a good time for, so I don't mind doing another one at another time at some point. But Fruity Fridays are fun. Join the fun. Fruity Fridays are fun. We basically have what we did last week. We had a bit of a debate, and then we had debates on different things, and went into different questions, and then we had basically what you call a hot seat. We had people come on, they had problems, issues that they were having with their diet, and we had different people. Someone came on, they had acne issues. Someone came on, they had something else, but people who had experience were able to then say, oh yeah, I've had that problem, this is what I did, or this is how I thought about it. So join the fun. Fruity Fridays, all of this stuff. If you want to get links for, go to fruitfest.co.uk, make sure you're on the newsletter, the Love Fruit newsletter. I've not got the website for that created yet, but I'm going to have the proper website just for that. And you'll get the notification for Fruity Fridays. So, really enjoying hosting the Fruity Fridays right now, and hope you can join. So, thank you very much for supporting the channel. Look, I'm getting like huge. I'm just exercising for a few weeks now since the start of the and I'm like, oh, look at this. I've got muscles all over the place now. So, yeah. I'm really bad at ending videos, but stay fruity, stay fresh. See you on Fruity Fridays, and thank you for watching.